Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video we are going to discuss the software design principle called middle out. Okay, this middle out principle just states that system design or software design starts in or with the core domain logic, and that's what we call the middle part. And then we will expand to the outside, so outwards, as an example, how this core domain logic will store data, or how this core domain logic will be used from the outside's perspective, if it's like a user interface or whatnot. Okay, but the principle is simple. We design a system based around what the business does, so this core domain logic, and not how data is stored or how the screen looks and how this business logic is consumed. Okay, we focus on functionality. Okay, so what this pretty much says is you have this middle part. Okay, this is the money maker for the company. Let's say this is what makes your company unique. Okay, this is where you shine. Okay, so you have this middle part, and here on this middle part you have your core domain logic. Okay, so you could have things like, I don't know, domain models. You could have things like depending on the software design principle that you use, like domain-driven design or hexagonal architecture or clean architecture. You can have here business rules. Even though business rules, they should live on your domain models, depending on the paradigm. You can have here, I don't know, use cases, etc., etc. Okay, so whatever you have here actually depends a lot on as I said before, the software design principles that you apply, like clean architecture, hexagonal architecture, so on and so on. Okay, but this is where you should spend most of your time on, because that's as I said, this is where your company shines. This is where you distinguish yourself from the competitors. Okay, technically you shouldn't care if this middle part is consumed by an API, by a RabbitMQ consumer, by any other mechanism. What you should make sure is that this is rock solid, that it can be consumed by anyone. Okay, it doesn't matter who it is. Same goes for the persistence side. Okay, so let's put it here on the right side. So this could be, I don't know, like a user interface, or this could be like a, I don't know, a GUI. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is what consumes the application. Okay, so this consumes the application. And then you, of course, your application needs to store stuff. So ultimately you will have here, I don't know, some kind of DB, or you can send notifications, and then this will also have here some kind of messaging. I don't know. But the important point here is the following. This is the heart of your software. This is where you should spend most of your time, and probably spend a lot of the budget in this part of your system. Okay, this part of the system being so core, so central in your application, means that technically, as time goes by, it tends to be more stable. Okay, at least that should be the case. It should tend to be more stable, which means that by contrast, all of these edges here, they tend to be more moving pieces, or as time goes by, they should be treated as things that can change more often, and therefore things that you probably shouldn't spend your best developers or spend a lot of time on, because they are just probably not worth it. Okay. And so your application would grow, let's put this on red, from the middle to those parts. Okay. So this would be the natural progression of your application. And probably if you already are familiar with hexagonal architecture, for example, you by default you apply this middle out principle, because that architecture just states that you should protect the center of your application from whoever consumes or whatever you consume. Okay, the driven or primary actors from the secondary or driven actors. Okay, so this kind of domain-oriented patterns, like as I said, hexagonal architecture, clean architecture, they are by nature, if you look at them, domain-centric, and therefore they treat the middle part of your application as the money maker, and then you have this natural progression from the middle to whatever consumes it. Okay. And often this would then be, of course, done with some kind of dependency injection, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter, but that the point is, I keep repeating myself that what this middle part is where it all shines. Okay. Having that said, and probably as you might understand that using this kind of approaches with simplistic applications, if it's mostly like a CRUD application where you just have some endpoints, just a very simple project, that's probably not the best approach to have, all of this middle out architecture approach. And also, of course, it only makes sense to start on the middle if you know what the middle is. Okay, if you have some kind of domain clarity. Okay, if you have an understanding of what's being developed. Okay, so this is actually this middle out, as I was saying before, is just something that we normally implicitly use if we use domain-centric designs, but we don't give it a proper name. And I just learned about this, and I thought it would be interesting to share. Maybe that can trigger you to also search a bit more about this middle out pattern. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.